Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Dear students, Assalamu Alaikum. I am Yasir Hussain from Pakistan Studies Department, Army Public School and College, Ordnance Road. Today I will deliver lecture number 3 from chapter number 1, and the topic is Aligarh movement. Dear students, it is a very important topic, and most of the times the examiners set questions from this topic. So please listen it attentively. The objectives of our today's topic are: point out the background of the Aligarh movement, highlight the objectives of the Aligarh movement, and then evaluate Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's services for the Muslims of India. Now, before going to start our today's topic, just have a quick recap of lecture number 2, in which we have discussed about the landmark events from 1857 to the creation of Pakistan, proposals for the solution of the constitutional problems, then the evolution of the Muslim League's constitutional struggle, and other important events. Just remember that from 1857 onward events, we already have discussed briefly about Aligarh movement as well. Students, before we will start discussion on Aligarh movement, you should know about the life of the personality behind this movement. That great personality and the founder of Aligarh movement is Sir Syed Ahmad Khan. He was a great reformer, educationist and philosopher of the 19th century. He belongs to a very noble family, and his father Sayyid Muhammad Muttaqi belonged to the Mughal Empire. Therefore, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan got his early education, especially in Quran and sciences, from the Mughal court. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, born in Delhi in 1870, then he started his career as a Naib Munshi in the East India Company in 1838. Then after passing through different stages in this judicial system, he transferred to the Delhi, and then where he started writing editorial for the newspapers and wrote a number of different essays on different topics as well. During the War of Freedom 1857, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was in the city of Bijnor. As Sir Syed had stood by the side of the British during the War of Independence, therefore he saved the lives of many English gentlemen and their families over there. Then he became a Munsif Judge of Small Causes Court in 1870, and then got retired from the services in 1876. He was awarded by the title of Sir by the British government, acknowledging his services to the government of British in 1888, and then he died on March 27, 1898 in Aligarh. Dear students, now coming to the Aligarh movement, we should know how Aligarh movement was started, what are the causes, and what was its background. Therefore, we will look into it first. The failure in the War of Independence results in the ending of Muslim rule and start of the British rule in India. The Britishers made the Muslims responsible for the War of Independence, and they refer it as mutiny. Remember, they refer it as a mutiny, but the Muslims call it War of Independence or War of Freedom, the Indians basically. The British government started then targeting the Muslims. Therefore, their properties were confiscated and they were denied the jobs as well. Likewise, politically, the Muslims of India were reduced from the rulers to the subjects. Economically, they were reduced to poverty. And educationally, they were far behind from the Hindus. So in these circumstances and the conditions, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan started a reform movement for the revival of the Indian Muslims. The movement started by Sir Syed was an educational reform movement. Sir Syed believed that Muslims should not adopt antagonistic attitude towards the Britishers. Rather, he advised Muslims to adopt a policy of conciliation and friendship towards Britishers. Staying away from the politics, acquiring modern education, trying to get maximum government services, and be loyal to the British government or other advices by the Sir Syed to the Muslims. Dear students, after going through the background of the Aligarh movement, now the question comes in our mind that what is meant by Aligarh movement and why it is called Aligarh movement. Such type of questions comes in our mind. So in order to answer these questions, here we have an introduction of this Aligarh movement. That is, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's conciliatory efforts are collectively known as Aligarh movement. We have discussed those conciliatory efforts, the advices given by him to the Muslims in the background. So it is known as Aligarh movement because its main center was at Aligarh, the city of Indian state of Uttar Pradesh. So a large number of the Indian Muslims appreciated his efforts and stood by his side, while a large number of the Muslims also opposed him bitterly. The opponents believed that by following his policy would mean eternal slavery for the Muslims of the India. Dear students, now the question arises about the purpose of the Aligarh movement. So, to answer this, here are the basic objectives we have to know about it. Number one is to bring about conciliation among the Muslims and the British. Number two, to separate education among the Muslims, impart English language and learning, and make the Muslims familiar with the British culture and way of life. Number three is to make the Muslims loyal subjects of the British government. And number four, to develop friendly and good neighborly relations between the Muslims and other Indian nations. The main idea behind all these four basic objectives was a very simple one, that was to end the enmity between the Muslims and the British and create a friendly relationship, a conciliation process, so that the Muslims won't be targeted by the British government. They will just start their life like free citizens as earlier. They will move towards progress, development, they will get education freely, and so on. So for this purpose, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan gave these main objectives initially. Dear students, now we will discuss about some of the services and efforts of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan regarding the Aligarh movement. In this regard, the first point is that of the causes of the Indian mutiny. It was a booklet written by Sir Syed Ahmad Khan, also named as Asbab-e-Baghabat-e-Hind, in which Sir Syed described the reasons which led the Muslims to wage a rebellion against the British government. He also tried to prove that uprising of 1857 was not a war of independence. Remember that the Muslims generally label it the 1857 War of Independence, but Sir Syed Ahmad Khan always called it a mutiny. Sir Syed also just mentioned that it was just an upheaval spurred by a few troublemongers. And he also wrote that certain unwise policies of the British also contributed towards this unfortunate incident. The second point is that of the loyal Muhammadans of India. In 1860, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan launched a magazine named as Loyal Muhammadans of India, in which he defended the Muslims from the British accusation that they were disloyal. He gave a detailed account of the loyal services rendered by the then Muslims and highlighted the services of those Muslims who saved the lives of the Britishers. He also called on the British to end their hostility towards the Muslim community. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was an outstanding writer. After coming back from England in 1870, he published a journal, Tehzeebul Akhlaq, and the purpose was to reawaken and revival of the Muslim nation. Students, in order to bring the British rulers and the Muslims closer to each other, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan wrote a number of books and tracts. Some of the notable books are such as Tehqiq-e-Lafz-e-Nasara, Tabeenul Kalam, a commentary of the Bible in which he pointed out the similarities between Islam and Christianity. Likewise, Risala Ehkam-e-Taam Ahle Kitab, and then Aligarh Institute Gazette. It was published in 1966 by the Scientific Society of Ghazipur, and this was published in both Persian and English languages so that the Muslims and Britishers could come closer to each other. Then his famous book was that of the Asarus Sanadid, in which he described about 125 historical buildings of Delhi and its surrounding areas. The next point is that of the establishment of the schools. During the days of his service, wherever he was posted, Sir Syed Ahmad Khan opened schools at different places, such as he established Gulshan School at Moradabad in 1859 and Victoria School at Ghazipur in 1862. Sir Syed established an educational institution in Ghazipur in 1863 with the name Scientific Society. The purpose of the establishment of this scientific society was the translation of important scholarly work from English to Urdu. The headquarters of this society was shifted to Aligarh in 1876. The next point is that of the study of the British education system. Sir Syed visited the most prestigious British educational institutions, that is the Cambridge and Oxford, while he was on a visit to England in 1869, where he made a deep study of the curriculum. And after coming back from there to India, he established a committee named as Khwastagarane Taraqqiye Taaleem-e Musalmanane Hind, and its purpose was to establish the British standard institutions in India. Here, Khwastagarane Taraqqiye Taaleem-e Musalmanane Hind committee means the group of people who are in favor of the development of the Muslims of India. Then, as the first step, the committee established Mohammedan Anglo-Oriental School at Aligarh in 1875. Students, the MAO school was then upgraded to college level in 1877. The then Viceroy, Lord Lytton, laid the foundation stone and donated 10,000 rupees as well. Students, it was a dream of Sir Syed to upgrade this college to a university level, which was fulfilled later on after his death in 1920 with the name Aligarh University. From this university, the graduates who passed, they played a vital role in the Pakistan movement. And the university is still one of the popular universities in India. The next very important service of Sir Syed Ahmad Khan was the establishment of Mohammedan Educational Conference in the year 1886. And the purpose of this conference was to motivate Muslims for acquiring modern knowledge. Annual meetings of the conference were held at different places throughout India. And then the Muslim League was founded in 1906 in such an annual meeting of the conference held at Dhaka. Mohammedan Educational Conference served the Muslim community in social, cultural, religious and political fields. Dear students, now it's the last point of the Sir Syed's services and efforts, that is the political services and the two-nation theory. Sir Syed's services in the field of politics are highly meritorious, but here we will discuss only two of the important ones over here. The first one is as a member of Imperial Legislative Council, he took up Indian problems very effectively. Here, the Imperial Legislative Council was the law-making body for the British India from 1861 to 1947. Then, the second very important political achievement of Sir Syed was that in the year 1867, the Hindus of Banaras launched a movement to replace Urdu as an official language with Hindi. Sir Syed Ahmad Khan strongly opposed this idea and thus safeguarded the sign of the Muslim identity. After this Urdu-Hindi controversy, Sir Syed felt that it was not possible for Hindus and Muslims to progress as a single nation. As such, Sir Syed founded the concept of the two-nation theory. He also demanded separate electorate for the Muslims, and he said the number of the Muslim seats in the Viceroy's Council should be fixed, and Muslim members should be elected only by the Muslim voters. Now, to sum up the topic, Aligarh movement was a complete institution in itself. This movement led to various social and religious reforms. A number of educational institutions were set up. It left an impact on the national movement, which led to the India's independence and creation of Pakistan. Now, just have a quick recap of the today's topic. So far, we have discussed the background of the Aligarh movement, the objectives of the Aligarh movement, and Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's services for the Muslims of India. Students, it's now time to give you assignment as usual. You will have to read page 8 to 10, this whole topic, covering that different definitions and concepts, and then you will have to answer the exercise short question number 6. What do you know about Asbab-e-Baghavat-e-Hind, the causes of the Indian mutiny? You can find its answer on page number 9 of your book. Then there are 2 extra questions from the text. That question 3, what do you know about Muhammadan Educational Conference? Its answer you can find on page number 10. And then question number 4, write any 3 objectives of the Aligarh movement, or you can say Sir Syed's efforts. You can find it on page number 8. Do write all the questions answers in your own words. The next is that of the long question. There are 2 long questions related to this topic. As I have already told you that this is a very important topic, and one of the questions, either in the long or short questions, do come in the final papers. So the long question number 2 is give a background of the Aligarh movement and the summary of its basic objectives. Up 2 points over here, only background and its basic objectives, which you can find on page number 8. That will be the answer of this question. Then question number 3, long one, that is describe and evaluate Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's services for the Muslims of India. Then the rest of this topic will be the answer of this question number 3, which definitely describe the Sir Syed Ahmad Khan's services. So that's it for the assignment. Do complete it and do attentively listen the lecture and do complete the assignment well in time. Dear students, for any question regarding the lecture and the subject, you are always welcome. Take care. Allah Hafiz.